of ancient Banga Kingdom and friends across the globe respectfully request the honor of your presence at the 50th birthday and 20th ascendancy anniversary celebration of our King, His Royal Highness Mene Dr. Swanu Timothy Yomadam Baridam, Ambassador of Peace, Justice of Peace, Associate of the Chartered Institute of Arbitration, Benemene and Kasimene Banga the 7th of Ogoni Land, River State, Nigeria. Dates and activities lineup for the celebration and commemoration are as follows. Day 1, Sunday, 18th December 2022, Thanksgiving service at Salvation Ministries headquarters, plot 17 Birabi Street, GRA Phase 1, Port Harcourt, by 12 noon. Day 2, Saturday, 24th December 2022, novelty football match between Banga United and Ogoni Stars at the Birabi Memorial Grammar School Field, Bori, by 4 p.m. Day 3, Monday, 26th December 2022, Niger Delta Youth Parliament Honorary Session, Niger Delta Students Union Government Solidarity Symposium, Ogoni Peace Walk, Pan-Ogoni Professionals and Rivers Youth Entrepreneurship and Business Development Session at the Convocation Arena, Kensaro Wiwa Polytechnic, Bori, 10 a.m. Day 4, Tuesday, 27th December 2022, Grand Celebration and launching of the Banga Kingdom Educational Endowment Fund and Banga Ancient Kingdom Consulate Building Fund at Government Secondary School Field, Lumene Banga, Nyokana District of Kana Local Government Area, River State. Come, let's celebrate our modern king for the entrenchment of peace and unity in Ogoni Land, River State, Niger Delta, Nigeria, and Africa. Signed, His Royal Highness Mene Samuel El Nne, Ambassador of Peace, Justice of Peace, Benemene Twatwa, Thai Kingdom, Secretary, Supreme Council of Traditional Rulers of Ogoni, and Chairman, Commemoration Planning Committee. Honorable Lesi Mao, Managing Director, Jolie Global Resources Limited, Co-Chairman, Commemoration Planning Committee. Chief Michael Ba Menenonu 1 of Banga, Chief Host. Dr. Henry Uni, Secretary, Commemoration Planning Committee. Professor Chief Christian Micah, Deputy Secretary, Commemoration Planning Committee. His Royal Highness Mene Benjamin Ledo Ki JP Menebwa Kababe the 4th, Chairman, Protocols and Mobilization Subcommittee. Honorable Kami Ngelale, Deputy Chairman, Protocols and Mobilization Subcommittee. Honorable Tambari Sydney Bara, Secretary, Protocols and Mobilization Subcommittee. Honorable Hyacinth DK, Deputy Secretary, Protocols and Mobilization Subcommittee. Chief Akbobari Benson Winyo JP, Paramount Ruler of Kalaoko, Chairman, Cultural Relations Subcommittee. Honorable Ambassador Mrs. Gift Nkayi, the Esther of Thai Kingdom, Chairman, Women Affairs Subcommittee. Dumbari Nawi Domka, Chairman, Peace and Security Subcommittee. Ndume Green, Founder, Ogoni TV/Capital TV, Chairman, Publicity and Advocacy Subcommittee. Rotarian Comrade Nwi Sabari Samuel Bani, Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, River State Chapter. Spokesman, Chairman's Forum Nigeria, and Coordinator, Pan-Ogoni Professionals and Youth Leaders Network. Prince Kabari O.P. Agara Akiyo the 7th, Mene Efilo, Custodian of Peace of Bokwara, Kani, Bori Capital Territory, and Country Director, Friends of Ogoni Trust, FOOT International, Head of Secretariat and Strategy, Commemoration Planning Committee. Contact us via email at kingbaridam5020@gmail.com or visit our website on www.kingbaridam5020.com. RSVP +234 812-345-7777.
I can't book your tie. Nobody no come money.
And we'll thank you sincerely for staying on Super 93.3 FM Port Harcourt. This is Point Blank. Point Blank is a news and current affairs program as every Saturday from 8:15 to 10 o'clock. On Point Blank, we discuss the tough issue and there's no hold back on Point Blank. Of course, on Point Blank, we bring in special people and very important personalities. And when big people talk, they talk on Point Blank. So again, we're looking at the situation in the state ahead of the coming election. And this time around, we'll be beaming our searchlights to the Ogoni axis. So much is happening in the Ogoni axis, particularly as we count down to the 2023 general election, 91 days to the governorship election, and about 77 days to the presidential and national assembly elections in Nigeria. Recently, the Ogoni People's Assembly, OPA, and by the way, Ogoni People's Assembly is a political, socio-economic group of the elite and professionals of Ogoni extraction in the Niger Delta region. They held a meeting and issued a communique. Some of the issues in the communique are issues that are aimed at ensuring the well-being of Ogoni people and the environment in Ogoni, towards the coming election. Now, we shall be looking at all of these issues, and we'll be looking at some very, very gray areas in the issue. And I have with me in the studio this morning, I have Comrade Probel William, who is the leader of Ogoni People's Assembly. And thank you so much for joining us, Comrade Probel William.
Thank you, Shegun. Thank you for having me.
And also, I have with me in the studio another distinguished personality, Dr. Evidence Enoch. He is the secretary of OPA. He is a chartered environmentalist and a chartered public health consultant. He's also a chartered oil and gas expert. And thank you so much, Dr. Enoch, for joining us this morning. Fantastic. So, let me just start with this. It seems as if the Ogoni People's Assembly is gradually becoming a persona non grata in Ogoni land. And this is my reason. 3 times you've tried to hold your meeting, and I think for more than 3 times you've been told, no, you cannot. So who is afraid of OPA, Ogoni People's Assembly in Ogoni land?
Well, the only persons or people that will be afraid of Ogoni People's Assembly in Ogoni land are people that are non-Ogoni. We believe that every pan-Ogoni, pro-Ogoni, supports the ideas, the motivation, and of course the spirit behind OPA. Well, everybody knows that in the election year, there are fears from quarters that unknown fears. People create panics that do not exist. But we continue to do what we know that is best for Ogoni people at such a time as this. But somehow, gradually, things are unfolding as days go by. That is the political situation in Rivers State. We have earlier informed the world about Ogoni's Jubilee. That is Ogoni's Golden Jubilee. That is the 70th Golden Jubilee of Ogoni. You know, as the Bible will put it, and the children of Issachar had an understanding of the times and knew what Israel ought to do. I think Ogoni knows what to do right now. Okay. And then we are heralding what we need to do, because we are not just physical beings. I and my secretary here are pastors. We have some spiritual depth, and that reveals to us that it is about time for Ogoni to come out of the old cloak, reinvent, re-engineer the ugly narratives around Ogoni.
And I love that spiritual depth, and I will also want Dr. Enoch to also join in the conversation, because it is a conversation. But again, when I look through the event of the past, I recall that earlier this year, there was a plan to have a conference in Sapinwa, and that plan was aborted. And again, the reason you said that was due to fears from certain political quarters in Ogoni. And also, again, you reconvened yet another meeting at the Beresako Hall in Gokana, and that was also truncated. And also, you had to reconvene in Bori for the Ogoni indigenous people traditional headquarters, and that again suffered some setback. So, definitely, but you have said perhaps those who are not open to the gathering of OPA are people that are non-Ogoni. But again, from what we know, some of these people are Ogoni people. Perhaps you're doing something that is not in the interest of the generality of Ogoni people. Am I correct?
That will not be correct. You made mention of myself, but let me say something here.
Yes.
Yes. The interest of Ogoni first. You know what has kept Ogoni the way it is, despite the blessings, and we are the natural endowment and the rest of them, is what some persons do not think about the agenda of Ogoni.
And what is that agenda of Ogoni?
The agenda of Ogoni is what blesses all Ogonis. The blessing that should be able to reach the downtrodden. The blessings that should be able to reach the women, the men, those people that nobody speaks for them. So when you see particular person, from time to time you see a particular group of persons or a person that says everything must be myself, the moment they see an idea that seems to tilt towards what will benefit everybody, it becomes a threat to them. So we are gradually seeing that, and that's the reason you see when we come to talk as Ogoni people, some people don't want that multitude, they don't want that companion, they don't want that coming together of a people. So every coming together, a gathering of a people, posits threat to such persons.
Okay, you know, Probert William, you're being evasive now. I don't know you as a politician. You've told me that you're a pastor, and I'm expecting you as a pastor to hit it point blank, to speak on it, but I've not heard from Dr. Enoch yet. Maybe I will hear from you. You're being evasive. For example, let me come to you point blankly now. I know in your communique, you insisted in your communique that very soon you will point the direction for Ogoni people to go concerning the governorship election, which is in 91 days.
For me,
and also, you also said that you are also in support of a governor of Ogoni extraction. But don't forget, there is also another group in Ogoni land, which is the Ogoni Sim Vanguard, that has said this is not the time for Ogoni governor, for a governor of Ogoni extraction.
So that we don't, we get it right, Shegun, I would suggest we take this discussion in context.
Let's take it in context, yes.
If we take it in context, I'll be able to tell you exactly what it is.
Yes.
Point blankly.
Okay, very well. Let's go.
So now it is introduction. You know, in our communique, there are three things that we spelled out. Number one, we talked about politics.
And I want us to talk about the politics first before we come to the other issue.
So we talk about politics right now. All right. Now, on the sometime last year, Ogoni People's Assembly issued a press statement. Then everybody was looking at the possibility of an Ogoni man to become a governor. So when people attack us sometimes for what we do, we try to bring them back to where we are coming from. So that not because of what you want to achieve for yourself, and not in the interest of the people, you think people will support everything you say. We issued a press statement. And then in that press statement, Shegun, we said an Ogoni man has not become the governor of Rivers State.
I recall that press statement because we also aired it in the station.
All right. We said the Ogoni man has not become deputy governor of Rivers State. We said Ogoni man has not become a chief judge in Rivers State. And Ogoni man has not even become the Speaker of the House of Assembly. And then in that press statement, we said there is a deliberate attempt to keep sidelining Ogoni from the seat of power. It is a calculated attempt to ensure that we do not, reap from our commonwealth. And we raised alarm. We heard the PDP. In fact, there were stories everywhere that they are going to consider so-so and so-so persons from the Ogoni extraction for the number one seat in the state. Don't forget that our brother also, that is Senator Magnus Abbey, was also carrying out his struggle to ensure that he's on a ballot in APC. Now, from PDP to APC, there were insinuations from certain quarters that Ogoni, this is Ogoni's turn. Now, we in Ogoni People's Assembly, knowing the times that I said from the beginning, also keyed into these, insinuations from some quarters that we are going to be on the ballot. Our hopes were dashed when suddenly we heard from PDP, you are not qualified to be there. And then somebody was picked from somewhere to become the flag bearer, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Now, from APC 2, we discover that our brother, Senator Magnus Abbey, who we know has the pedigree to become whatever he wants to, he has paid his dues, was also sidelined from APC. Now, this began to raise concerns in Ogoni land. I hear them say, this began to raise concerns in Ogoni land. Does it mean that in PDP, there is nobody that is qualified to become the governor of Rivers State from 1999 till date? Then in APC, there is nobody that is qualified to become governor in Rivers State from 1999 to 2022. Nobody. Okay, if you say that Lee Meaba is not good, If you say maybe Peter Thompson is
But
not
again,
good.
we've passed that place now. So where we are right now is where I want you to talk from.
That
And
is
again,
that's what I try to give you the background of where we are coming from.
So let us
so
just
that
fast
you
forward.
ask the question,
Yeah,
what is the
fantastic.
agenda?
Exactly, that's my point.
So-
So,
so
what is your agenda now?
if I
Are you
don't-
still staying on the governor of
That is where we are, and we've not shifted our ground. That's where we are.
Again,
Now,
that is where the problem is, and I will also, Dr. Enoch, you've been so quiet. I don't like your quietness. You need to speak because you see, because you are saying that's where you are. You've not shifted, which means your stand remained a governor of Ogoni extraction in the 2023 election. But again, you also have other sons and daughters of Ogoni who are saying that Ogoni is not right. That this is the time you must support. That you should support so as to ensure that when that time comes, you have what is due
Shegun,
you.
I'm going to be very raw in this station, but
Please
let
be
me-
raw. That's the
I'm
essence
going to
of
be
Point
very,
Blank.
I'm going to be very raw.
That's why
in
Point
this
Blank
place.
is there. You need to be raw.
Yes, but you said my secretary has been
No,
very
okay. No, I want you to be raw first, then your
Okay.
secretary will take, because I know his capacity. Go ahead.
All right. Now let me tell you something, Shegun. When we heard a story many years ago that Kensaruwiwa was killed, everywhere in Rivers State, at least around us here, we know that the weather became dark. They call it a black day for the black man. It was the same thing that happened when we discovered that PDP did not see any reason to choose an Ogoni man in PDP. The same thing happened in APC. So the cries of the people were, oh, so we are going to wait again for another 8 years. Some were saying, if the thing falls, maybe they choose somebody from our senatorial district, another 24 years. These were the cries of the people. Now, Ogoni People's Assembly is not petty. And then we are not an organization that is funded by any individual. We are people that believe in what we believe. What happens is God, in his mercy, has caused certain Ogonis to be on the ballot. One of such persons is Senator Magnus Abe. One of such persons is Dr. Lesi Borogbosin. One of such persons is Leyi Kwane, and what have you. These are men, capacity men, that have what it takes to become governors of Rivers State. Now our position is this. Why I have always spoken about the agenda of Ogoni is that many years ago, there was a man in this country, and of course then Rivers State. His name was Melford Okilo. Remember the quote when he said, monkey?
I don't want you to remind us of that again.
They wear coat. Now,
We've gone past that, and I know
we've
that
not gone past that.
The wounds are healed already. The wounds are healed.
They are not healed. The dream of becoming, of getting a governor of Rivers State from the Ogoni extraction stems from all of these narratives. These are the problems.
So what would you say to your brothers, also Ogonis, who are saying that, look, let us support, let us build friends across board, let us build bridges so that when our time comes, we will also have their support? Are they wrong?
That is what we are doing right now. That's what we are crying now. We are talking to Opobo people, we're talking to Boni people, the people from Ekpe region.
But this is quite too late. I mean, we're just 91 days to the
No,
election. 91 days to the
the
election.
work has been on. This talk, this conversation has been on right from 1999. And I'm telling you, okay, there is something you are missing from my gist here. I said, this is our 70th Jubilee.
Fantastic. I will talk about the 7th Jubilee. Let me come to Dr. Enoch now. Just some couple of weeks ago, the People's Democratic Party launched the Ogoni Simdanga, and it was stated categorically that Ogoni is for PDP and PDP is for Ogoni. So are you saying they're wrong?
Thank you, Segun, for this opportunity for me to speak on the politics in Ogoni. First, let me say this right, that the Ogoni People's Assembly is a social cultural and development organization. And if someone should speak for Ogoni, the first thing that anybody should ask is, what is his credibility? What's his acceptability? What's his legitimacy? What's his position? Before now, we all know that the movement for survival of Ogoni people, MOSAP, spoke for Ogoni, and their speeches were assumed, of course, to be the position of Ogoni. And then we'll have Kagote before then, and then we'll have Bukabari, and then now we'll have OPA. All these organizations complement each other to make sure they speak and represent Ogoni. Now, when you have a political platform coming to take a position for Ogoni, one should be forced to ask, do they represent the heartbeat, the position of Ogoni? So if one should ask about who speaks for Ogoni, we should first look at the dynamics of acceptability and does it represent each other people? Now, OPA has on record demonstrable evidence of the fact that we do speak for Ogoni economically, developmentally speaking, technically, and otherwise. Of course, we know when the issue of the East West Road was terrible, and we had to speak as Ogoni. So Ogoni Assembly was one of those who blocked that East West Road for 7 days and told the government that this project must be done. On higher prayer, Ogoni Assembly has been very bold to tell the people that higher prayer must benefit Ogoni. On policy still, Ogoni People Assembly, of course, have the acceptability to speak for Ogoni. Don't forget, the communique that was issued was a product of a resolution that was taken at a conference organized by all Ogoni people, for which the position of Ogoni was clearly spelled out to say, as a pan-Ogoni cultural organization, it's only natural for us to support and adopt our own. Now, these narratives are based upon facts and figures. Facts are sacred, they say. And like my leader rightly said, 70 years of quietly waiting for the re-emergence and reinvention of Ogoni, it is quite a long time. And like you asked, why are all the agitations? Why are Ogoni people seem to be attacked? It's only natural they'll be attacked because even spiritually speaking, people resist change. When Israel was 70 years in captivity, it was time for them to go. Daniel having even had to cite by prophecy to say it is time to go, and he had to pray. Even spiritual dimensions, the prince of Medes and Persia revolted against them. Naturally, too, even in science, I'm a rugged scientist. Even in science, the law of equilibrium states that when there is a change in concentrations or in distribution or in activity of a particular phase, there is a shift to balance the effect of the change. So what we are seeing in Ogoni is a shift to resist or to support change. And we are saying that Ogoni People Assembly, it is only natural for us to support our own, and we are saying that every Ogoni that is on ballot is competent enough to be the governor of Rivers State. And that we are going across board to tell that, look, Ogonis have provided all that is to deserve the support of the people. We are actually going across board to convince our neighbors to say it is time Ogoni has a chance. From the creation of Rivers State, we've not been the governor, we've not been the deputy governor, we've not been anything. Okay. And Ogonis have produced men who also, don't forget, even laid down their life for democracy in Nigeria.
Fantastic. You will talk further that, and if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Point Blank, and I have executives of the Ogoni People's Assembly, and their point is very clear. 91 days to the governorship election, they've said that they are in support of all Ogoni candidates on the ballot for the governorship and the various elected positions. Though they've said that they would confirm, they will put together a forum to point the direction for the Ogonis to go in the governorship election, not forgetting that there are different Ogoni sons on different political parties vying for the #1 position of the state, but their view is that they will support the next governor or a candidate of political parties of Ogoni extraction, and they will tell Rivers people or Ogoni people where to go the next. So again, this is the situation. Is this a very valid stand by the Ogoni People's Assembly? Do you think they're doing things rightly? And again, how far can this position take them? Yes, they talked about the 70 years of Ogoni. Now we'll be looking at that, but they said this is the time we must go. This is the time Ogoni must go. So let's just throw open the telephone line. We'll take the first set of calls, 07050791021, and that is 07050791021, and 08117431021. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank.
Good morning, Shegu.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, my name is Comrade Leighton Barry Sunday.
Comrade Leighton Barry.
Leader, the time and tone for River South.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, let me greet your guests in the studio. Yeah, good morning. There you are out there. Yes. I really want to appreciate you for your efforts, your concern, the emphasizing you have for the Ogoni people. At least they should have a say in the state. I want to commend you for that. That interest is commendable and welcome. Two, I want to say that those who have been attacking you, they know what you are up to. They believe they've seen you. They know you have this concern for the Ogoni people. And because of the hatred they have for themselves, you know, among us will have those who doesn't want this idea to sell. And I want to say that you should not be deterred with what the threats and whatever they are giving you. Ogonis must produce the next governor come 2023. It is a must. As Magnus, at the stand firm, the only Ogoni son who is not dented with any allegation of whether crime, financially, or whatever. An Ogoni son that respects the society.
Okay,
that
well, thank you so much. I think you've made your point very, very clearly there, and we quite appreciate you coming, Sunday Letambari. Let's take this one. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Donubari Asogo.
Donubari Asogo, good morning.
I want to tell you, Shegun, that what we are coming out the position that Ogoni people want Governor 223, it is the right time for us to. Since the creation of River State, non-Ogoni man has never had any vibrant position. An opportunity has not been given to us. We are being marginalized in this
Okay, so
where everybody is aware.
I think what you've said is very clear.
What I'm saying is that I want every Rivers man, every other Rivers people to bury their vision for now.
Well, thank you so much, Donubari Asogo. Yes, you are in support of their stance. Let's take another one. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Hello, good morning, Pastor Shegun.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to my brothers in the studio, Reverend Williams and Dr. FC. I greet all of you. My name is Kennedy Friday, and I'm calling to contribute to the program.
Good.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to thank my brothers. There is nothing wrong with what we are doing. In the Yoruba, we have Afenifere. In Igbo land, we have another group, their own group, Ezendigo people. In Hausa, we have the Arewa group. So there's nothing wrong with a group of people coming together to articulate things, that is in their interest. That is how a civilized society should operate. Because when people band together, they are more likely to quickly achieve their objectives than when they go solo. So I thank you all for what you have said. Secondly, Ogoni is part of River State. And like every other tribe in River State, somebody from Ogoni is right to aspire to lead River State as the next governor of River State. This right, I must say, is not exclusive to Ogoni, because every other person has that right.
Okay.
However, when you are talking about justice, when you are talking about equity, when you are talking about fairness, Ogoni will not cease to ring in your mind. And I say so because in 1999, when democracy came back to this country, somebody, from Rivers West Extraction became the governor of Rivers State. That person had support in Ogoni land. Then we had somebody from Rivers East, two of them on a row that have become a governor. In fact, three of them, they were actively supported by the Ogoni people. And today, if we are saying that on the senatorial basis, power should rotate, to Rivers Southeast, then it is only fair, it is only just, it is only acceptable, it is only good to appeal to the conscience of Rivers people that the time has come.
Well, Kennedy Friday, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kennedy Friday. Thank you so much.
The time has come for us to allow the flood of justice to flow down to support Senator Magnus Nge Abi.
Well, thank you so much, Kennedy Friday.
Who has the grit, who has the reach, who has the network, who has...
Well, I think, Kennedy Friday, we just have to allow you to go. But gentlemen, let's come back again. Now, again, I'm just looking at the correctness of your politics in this. Are you stating this position for political because you are because it is political sagacious, or you are stating this position because you are Ogonis and you think it is the time for Ogoni people? Because we should look beyond 2023. What would our people stand to gain in this? Does it make political sense, our stand?
All right, Second, thank you so much. Like I said, facts are sacred. And we are making these positions from a very justifiable angle to it. Now, look at the creation of River State. Like Kennedy have just itemized it, politically speaking. Let me go beyond 1999 to look at the struggles against the military dictatorship in Nigeria, the role of Ogoni in the Niger Delta, the emergence of Kensar Owiwa, and of course, eventual death of Ogoni 13. Now, let's look beyond even that to talk about 1953, when our star and our son, late Honorable Timothy Birabil, who had the closest shave of being the Governor General of this country, he and Nnamdi Azikiwe. Unfortunately, we lost him. 70 years down the line, Ogoni is still struggling.
Doctor, I'm very sorry to collision because you see, time will not permit us. No one is denying the fact that Ogoni is ripe to produce the governor. But again, we are saying that, do you have the structure? Again, is this, would you really say this is timely? And how well can you push this agenda? Do you have what it takes? I mean, Rivers State is a very important state, and to win the office of the governor of Rivers State, it takes so much. So do you have what it takes? That's my question.
Shegun, you will believe with me that the name Ogoni is not only a structure, it's currency. Like I just said it here, that internationally speaking, talking about Ogoni, you're talking about marginalized people all over the world. Ogoni represents a structure, an ideology, a name that sells. Ogoni has had structures right from beginning. So, if Ogoni man says he wants to be a governor, he's only latching on existing structures, politically, economically, advocacy-wise, and all the rest. We know we cannot do this alone. We have, before time, supported every tribe in Rivers State that attempted to be governors.
But you still have to deal with the descending in-house, because you see, you're not united. Just like somebody said the other day, and in fact, the first speaker I spoke to, Suboma Bojakrish, when he was in Ogoni, he said, Ogoni, you have to come together. You're not united. And that is the reason why we seem to have what we are having right now.
So that position is never correct.
Ogoni
is only divergent. We are not disunited. We're only divergent.
I like the word divergent, but again, in be divergent,
Ogoni.
again, the truth of the matter is this. A lot of people still feel that, well, yes, we are divergent. If you say that you are united, but again, a lot of people say, within the line of divergence, there is a very strong block that feels that, and that strong block, as few as they may look like, there seems to be the very, very powerful few. Am I correct?
That's not also correct.
Well, Doctor seems to be agreeing with me.
No, I'm not agreeing with you.
That's not
what the people see as divergence, and disunity in Ogoni is our strength. Our
yes.
strength is actually our weakness.
But what I'm trying to say is that within
thing.
the line of divergence, that very few seem to be very strong, and their opinions are very, very strong also.
Thank God you say they seem to be strong. But the good thing about Ogoni is that when Ogoni gives a direction, everybody goes in that direction. By the time OPA comes out with a clear-cut direction, of course, justifiably based on statistics and having heard from every candidate, you will see a clear-cut direction that Ogonis will go. Everybody will follow suit.
Okay, fantastic. In also your communique, I mean the introductory page in point 5
before you go to that communique, please.
Yes.
There's something I don't want you to leave.
Please.
Untouched. The case of unity.
Yes.
That we are disunited. Please, we should try as much as we can to erase that from our conversation this morning.
Okay.
Because if we go back to how united were the queries.
Now, we're not talking about
No, how united were the queries when Odili found them worthy. How united were they? So we keep saying that if you want to know how to give power to a disunited people, go and ask Peter Odili.
But again, your point here in this paragraph that I am reading also is insinuating what I'm about to say, because it says here, point 5 of your communique. You said that, let us send a strong notice to all crisis merchants that nobody has monopoly of violence, and OPA may be forced to seek self-help and defend itself in the apparatus of state if the apparatus of state cannot protect us. We do hope and trust in DSS investigating an attack at Oxygen Resort on innocent citizens, and members of OPA will expedite actions on their investigation and the necessary steps to revert any further attack. Again, you are also alluding to the fact that there are issues here, there are problems here.
That is not,
and that is to show disunity, isn't it?
That is not. No. That is not. We are talking about this executive rascality in Rivers State. That's what we are talking about there. You see, just around
and just a moment, because you also brought this down to the local government chairman in Ogoniland.
Yes,
again, that's what we're talking about.
Yes, now the thing rolls down from the head to the bottom. People are just carrying out, orders of the governor that has no bearing with what should be. How do you explain, Shegun, that somebody there is a signage here at Apajo Junction here, done by my brother. He paid.
Who is your brother?
Dr. Bestman Probel.
Okay.
He paid the Rivers State government for that signage.
And what is the signage about?
It conveys the message of Senator Magnus Abbey as the governor of Rivers State. It is spelled on that signage. He is reliable, he is dependable, he is qualified. Now, the issue here is a paid signage. You get my point here? It's a paid signage to the Rivers State Treasury. Now, going there to pull it down because the governor of Rivers State was going to Eleme to commission a project that I was reliably informed is not even from the Rivers State government, but from Indorama here. And then because some persons want to show capacity that they are on ground in Rivers State, we go back there to pull down a signage that somebody spent over 3 million naira to erect there. Approved by the state government. Now, I should go wait. We are
the time is again. It's the time. Yes, just go ahead. Yes, go ahead, bro.
Yes. Now, and that's why we are saying that those who have made themselves conflict entrepreneurs or coming to execute what does not exist should know that they do not have the monopoly of violence. Now, let me tell you why we said that. We say that because everybody knows that Shell operated in Ogoni land. And a day came when Ogoni people came together and say an end to this. Let what is happening in Rivers State not bring any person in Rivers. From Ogoni
we don't
down.
Want to talk about anything
because it's not going to be. It's not going to be business.
We of course the unity of the state is paramount to us. Even as a broadcast station, we are in support of the unity. But again, you said something very, very critical, and you said they want to show capacity, and of course, politics is all about showing capacity. Though, in your statement, you called on the local government.
That capacity, Shegun, does no longer exist in 2020. See, let me tell you, these people are still living in the past. Though. They don't know that we have moved. The election in 2023 is not going to be like other elections. The Beavers is going to demystify the imperialism of the Rivers State government. It is no longer what it used to be. So some people are thinking maybe a thuggery or snatching of ballot boxes and the rest of them will operate. It will not work.
Dr. Probel William, INEC has told us that, yes, technology will work very well in this election. Beavers and the IREC, they will work very well in this election. But again, and that takes me to another very serious issue we want us to talk about, because it is all about your mobilization. From what we also know so far, there is low participation of collection of PVCs from the Ogoni angle. That's what you should be talking about, particularly if you're so much interested in ensuring that the governor of Ogoni
Let me quickly tell you this. Yes. Let me quickly tell you this. Ogoni people are like Igbos in other parts of the world. They say if you get down to any country and you cannot find an Igbo man, run away from that country. I can tell you the majority of people living in Port Harcourt City and then Obiako are Ogoni people. So if you say...
You don't have the statistics. Show me the statistic. We have doctor here who is a statistician. So maybe you need to give me the statistics.
The statistics will come. Now, so if you think that's the reason it is important that politicians sit up now, because it is no longer what it used to be. Ogonis dominate Port Harcourt City.
Again, that's
Ogonis
a statement
dominate
that's a
Obiako.
statement you need to expatiate on.
Ogonis are everywhere, and then it is the votes that we count. This one is not the time that people will snatch ballot boxes and take into Novotel Hotel or take it to Somitel and then they begin to thumbprint. No. Okay. Now it is electronically transmitted. We are optimistic that because votes are going to count, Ogoni will win this election.
Fantastic. Probel William is the president OPA, and the secretary is Dr. Enoch, and there with me in the studio we're looking at recent outcome of a meeting of OPA Ogoni People's Assembly held, and we're looking at the critical issues. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break, and we'll be talking security. If time permits us, we will mention high prep. Yes, we will talk about high prep as well. But quickly, this break.
My good people of Rivers State, go collect your permanent voters card alias PVC today. Say no to election kasala because security for election no good. This time, our votes go count. All of us go gather body, take secure our vote. Support only credible candidates. We get fear of God for heart. No dey support corrupt politician we go chop una money run. No sell your votes. E dey bring cause. Vote candidate, not party. A better Rivers State dey for our hand. This message now from Dr. Lesi Gbodogbosi, governorship candidate of Action People's Party, APP, the Elephant.
And well, thank you so much for staying with us. You're listening to Point Blank Saturday on Super 93.3 FM Port Harcourt. Valis Probel Williams and Dr. Enoch with us in the studio, and the executive of the Ogoni People's Assembly. And we're looking at some of the resolution of that assembly concerning the coming election, security, and high prep in Ogoni land. Now, Evangelist, we just have about 4 minutes to go, and a very, very critical one concerning the hydrocarbon pollution and remediation project, high prep. Very stern warning you gave to federal government concerning the project. And you said the project coordinator must be allowed to function, to succeed or fail freely. The Honorable Minister, Project Management Office, the Governing Council, and indeed board should also should show the corruptible procurement head the exit door. Otherwise, OPA will soon act. Again, this is a very serious one. Do we have a corruptible procurement head in high prep?
Yeah, my secretary will have a few things to say, but before then, let me say this, Shegun. High prep has a structure, and everything that has to do with high prep is gazetted. It's not something that you pull from elsewhere, and it has alibi upon which it operates. We have discovered an evil that is happening in high prep, and then henceforth, that evil will be terminated. I say this because when you keep quiet in the face of evil, then you are also culpable. And so OPA is here to do this pro bono, not being paid, but to say the truth as it is. Shegun, some time ago, the outgone, the past Minister of Environment, Dr. Sharon Ikpeazu, redeployed certain persons from high prep. And it was pointed out too that some persons in high prep have overstayed. One of such persons is the head procurement. And let me mention his name. His name is Mr. Paul Owecho. He is the head procurement high prep. His tenure has been renewed severally.
Do you have documents to show?
Yes,
that?
I have documents to show for it. In fact, I will be back here again.
Definitely.
Yes. Now this man, his tenure is going to elapse again next month. That is January. We are sending a very strong warning to the Ministry of Environment that the tenure of that man will not be renewed again. Another discovery is that after the past Minister of Environment was removed, and another brother, that is Dr. Abdullahi, the present Minister of Environment, the Mr. Owecho went and brought back those staff, those workers that were redeployed, about 4 of them, back to high prep. As we speak with you, Shegun, there is a new director or procurement there. 2 directors are operating in IPREP. If there is nothing fishy, if there is nothing that is wrong, why will 2 persons be operating as head procurement in an establishment that should have 1? If something is not fishy, why will the head procurement, bring back those who were redeployed out of IPREP? What's wrong? Now, let me tell you another thing. When these people were redeployed, their backlog, that is the pioneer staff of IPREP, and the people that were redeployed, they were paid their backlog, monies that were owed them. The Ogoni people in IPREP had not been paid. There is a gimmick, very high level of hype going on there that is against Ogoni. In fact, it seems IPREP was designed not to favor those who are suffering from this environmental degradation.
You're making a very, very strong statement there, because, again, but these are things that will expatiate. I just have, unfortunately, about 30 seconds, and I want Dr. Combs to just say something in 30 seconds concerning this issue of
bureaucracy in IPREP is appalling. Appalling. And it's clear. Imagine that a whole year is rolled by and there's no project. Nothing happens there because bureaucracies. Ideally, IPREP is supposed to spend $20 million every year on projects. This year, nothing has been done. Bureaucracies go back and forth. So these issues have to be addressed.
We've been trying very hard to get Dr. Ferdinand Giadom to come talk to us on this issue, but definitely we will bring back OPA and Dr. Ferdinand Giadom to come. We will bring them, and we'll show you that. And I want to thank you so much, Proba Williams, and I want to thank you so much, Dr. for exposing some of these things. They are very, very critical. And why are they critical? Because we know the extensive nature and the importance of the Ogoni cleanup exercise and what this will mean for the entire Niger Delta.
Just in a sentence before we go.
Please.
Let me sound this warning. Number 1, the attack on Ogoni people should stop. Number 1, because we are not cheap people. Number 2, our communique wasn't just a threat. We will make real that threat if the things that we've written are not observed. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much. And I've been speaking to the president and the executive of the Ogoni People's Assembly, and it's been a very wonderful discussion. Of course, this discussion will continue, particularly on the one concerning the hydrocarbon pollution and remediation project, IPREP. Once again, thank you so much, gentlemen. And that's it on Point Blank this Saturday. Make it a day with us, another Saturday on Point Blank on Super 93.3 FM. Stay with us as we bring you other programs.